People in the district under the age of 18 will have a curfew this weekend. This comes after the mayor signed emergency legislation to enact it earlier this week. We have more details ahead. Airports in our area are already seeing a significant amount of delays and cancellations following the mandated FAA flight restrictions that went into effect Friday. We'll have the latest coming up. And after looking for a new home for some time, the Toys for Tots program in Montgomery County has finally found one. We have a live report from their new warehouse in just a few minutes.
And it's been a mild start to the weekend, to say the least. Wait till you see today's high, what it was. And of course, we've got some colder air in the forecast. We'll talk about how chilly it gets coming up.
And we're helping you stretch your dollar by telling you when's the best time to buy your plane tickets.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 6. I'm Kevon Dupree. Ben Dennis has the night off. New tonight, the Fairfax County Police Department is investigating a deadly stabbing that happened Friday night in Annandale. Police say officers responded to the scene on the 3900 block of Terrace Drive just after 9:30. There they found a woman who had been stabbed in her upper body. She died at the scene. Anyone with information on the stabbing is asked to contact Fairfax County Police. DC police say a 16-year-old girl was arrested Thursday in connection to a carjacking that happened in June, which resulted in a man being dragged by his car for several blocks. Police say on June 7th, a man pulled over in the 1100 block of Rhode Island Avenue Northwest and exited his car. Then someone entered the driver's seat of the car and tried to drive away. The man attempted to stop the person from driving off, which led to him being dragged for several blocks and sustaining serious injuries. Following their investigation, officers arrested the 16-year-old Thursday. She is facing multiple charges, including carjacking and reckless driving. People in the district under the age of 18 are facing a curfew this weekend after recent scenes like this one at Navy Yard on Halloween. Mayor Muriel Bowser signed off on emergency legislation to extend this summer's restrictions. The curfew states that anyone under 18 cannot be out between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. The curfew also states that anyone under 18 gathering in a group of 9 or more in any public place within the curfew zone must leave the area unless they are engaging in exempted activities. And now we want to get a check of the forecast, and for that we bring in meteorologist Scott Sumner. And Scott, it was a nice day out there, surprisingly warm, but yeah. I understand there is a cool down on the way as well. Oh yeah, take a look at this. How about a high of 71? The average should be 61, 10 degrees warmer. However, we were 10 degrees cooler than the record high of 81 set back in 1975. The record low 27 in 1930. Average low should be 44. We were well above that by 11 degrees. The morning low was 55 degrees. Where do we stand right now? We're coming down from that 71. We're sitting now almost 10 degrees cooler, sitting at 62 degrees with plenty of clouds around outside as we look at Reagan National Airport in the backdrop. Now, overnight lows with clouds in play will slide down into the lower 50s here, but it'll be a fairly mild night compared to where we have been in the past this past week, where we had clear skies, but there you see the lows here bottoming out around 50 degrees or so around 4 o'clock in the morning. But what about the weather headlines here? So a pleasant and dry night tonight, mild with some spotty showers on Sunday, another mild day coming up. Much colder areas coming here, and we're even talking about a little mountain snow. I'll talk about when that occurs coming up as well. We are now in day 39 of the government shutdown. You're taking a live look at the Capitol. The Senate is working through the weekend for the first time since the government shutdown began over a month ago. Yesterday, Republicans rejected an offer from Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer to reopen the government and extend expiring health care subsidies for a year. Democrats twice yesterday blocked a proposal from Republican Senator Ron Johnson to pay accepted employees and members of the military during the shutdown. Some Democratic lawmakers say it would give President Trump too much authority to pick and choose which federal employees are paid and when. Even though lawmakers are working this weekend, no votes are scheduled. And Americans continue to feel the effects of the government shutdown, even in the skies. Here's a live look at Reagan National Airport, where the airport dealt with significant amount of delays and cancellations yesterday. Yesterday, the mandated FAA flight restrictions went into effect across the country. The FAA blaming the reduction on staffing shortages. Our Daniel Hamburg has the latest.
It's a waiting game for thousands of travelers at Reagan National Airport on the first day of flight reductions mandated by the FAA.
It's pretty burdensome on the travelers like us, but hopefully the shutdown ends soon and flights are back on track.
According to FlightAware, Reagan National had about 350 delays in and out of the airport Friday and about 160 cancellations. The FAA says the average delay, 4 hours.
We found out that the Portland, Oregon air is going to be 3 hours late from departure.
Despite the delays, Janelle Handegard and her group's spirits are high.
I think we're doing okay. We got a good book to read. Yeah, so we're going to be fine.
Knowing what was coming, some changed their plans.
We're supposed to go as a group. Most of the group canceled, some had changed. In fact, this morning somebody changed from 5 p.m. to 10 a.m. He has to leave as early as possible.
Abby Awumi was one of the lucky ones with an on-time flight to Miami.
This year I'm surprised, it looks like nobody's traveling here. It's kind of nice and clean. There's nobody here.
For air traffic controllers still showing up, a sign in the tower reads, "Will Vector for food," a nod to still directing planes without getting paid.
And that was Daniel Hamburg reporting. Make sure you're checking with your airline before getting to the airport to avoid the disappointment of delays and cancellations. If you're flying out of BWI or Dulles, a bit of good news we have for you. International flights are largely unaffected. 2 firefighters accused of spraying a baseball field with thousands of gallons of water while a team was getting ready for a game won't face any legal punishment. The case went to trial in Montgomery County on Friday. Christopher Riley and Alan Barnes faced several misdemeanor charges. Investigators said the firefighters were responsible for spraying the Blair Local Park baseball field with thousands of gallons of water while the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts collegiate baseball team was getting ready to play. Because of what happened, the team had to cancel its game. In court, Riley took full responsibility for the incident. He said he wanted to get the team's attention. Riley claims several baseballs had flown over the fence and damaged property at the nearby fire station. Because Riley took responsibility, a judge absolved Barnes. The judge also said the water did not cause any damage to the field, and he found Riley not guilty of the charges he faced. Thunderbolts founder Richard O'Connor and Riley's lawyer, Rand Lucy, weighed in on the verdict.
I'm not quite sure he understands how much it takes to get a team up and running, and when you can't play a game because of poor field conditions, that's destruction of property.
Happy that that the whole story came out, and not happy about the situation or proud of any of this, but just happy that the whole story came out.
And we asked Riley for comment on the ruling as he was leaving the courthouse Friday, but he declined. And it may just be a Merry Christmas after all for tens of thousands of children in Montgomery County. You may recall we told you last month the Toys for Tots program there needed a new home. We have great news. It has found one. And DC News Now's Dave Lavelle joins us from Gaithersburg. And Dave, where exactly is this new location?
Good evening to you, Kevon. What we can tell you, it definitely took a while to find, but this empty warehouse along Atlas Drive is the new home to Santa's Workshop. This deal came together earlier in the week, while the owner of the property is said to be looking for a new tenant. It replaces the old AC Delco warehouse in town that served as the collection and distribution center last year. That property has since been rented as Toys for Tots scrambled to find somewhere else to organize its toy drive. Elizabeth Scott has overseen the program for 60 years. She feared there could be no toy drive this year without the warehouse donation.
In the 60 years I've been doing this, I have never had this much of a problem to find a location, never. And I don't know what happened. Is it because people don't really understand what the program is?
Toys for Tots is expected to help more than 80,000 Montgomery County children this year. That's twice the number from a year ago due to layoffs and the government shutdown. Now, time is of the essence, as the collection drive should start sometime next week, but that's at least a month behind schedule. Donations end on December 19th. We're live in Gaithersburg, Maryland. Dave Laval, DC News Now.
All right, Dave, great to hear from you and great story. Thank you very much. Today, a block party was held to celebrate the legacy of the U.S. Agency for International Development after being shut down earlier this year. USAID was shut down after the Trump administration moved to close the agency earlier this year. Organizers say after the layoffs, many employees face uncertainty and economic instability. The block party was held today to help celebrate all of their hard work.
We'll talk about the destruction, the death of USAID, and we're here to remind people that we're not dead, we're not destroyed, and we're gonna keep fighting for what we believe in, and that really is this belief in humanity and belief in service for each other and community.
The block party was 80s themed and featured live music and family-friendly activities. And we have some encouraging news for Washington Commanders fans. Head coach Dan Quinn says quarterback Jayden Daniels will not need surgery on his left elbow. It is also being reported that there is no ligament damage in that elbow. Daniels dislocated his elbow during the Commanders' loss last Sunday to the Seattle Seahawks. It's still uncertain if the star quarterback will return to action this season. And fans of the Burgundy and Gold may experience more security at this Sunday's game at Northwest Stadium. That's because President Trump says he'll be in attendance at the game. Fans will be subjected to TSA-style screening points and are strongly encouraged to arrive as early as possible. It's the team's Salute to Service game that honors service members ahead of Veterans Day on Tuesday. Kickoff against the Detroit Lions is at 4:25. The anxiety at airports is sky high with cancellations and delays. A look at when it's smart to book a flight. And the time is now 6:11. You're taking a live look at Roslyn across the river. Scott Sumner will have a full forecast after the break.